now call me daddy. Okay, that's what Monique say. So, okay, all right, fine. Let's just get it started then. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips Podcast. I'm your host, Daddy, and I'm here. I'm here with my wife, daughter.
No, sir. This is not Big Love.
we are live on a Wednesday afternoon, ready to finish off the week. Unless you're premium, then we got Balls Deep tomorrow. But yeah, this is the Blackout Tips. Find us everywhere you find podcasts. Find us on YouTube now.
We is on the YouTube.
People are listening. People are leaving comments. People are leaving likes. We appreciate y'all. Thank you. Shout out to the one person that said Black people do tip. That person, that's who we're after. The people that have never heard of the show before.
Yes, that's who we after. And like they say, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Right.
I'm pointing in any direction because I don't know where it's gonna pop up on the screen.
Oh man, well, we are live. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. The official weapon of the show is the unofficial sport.
What about
a bullet ball extreme? No, I don't even know where to begin. So why don't we begin at that place that we never really want to begin at? Let's talk about the coronavirus news. Coronavirus.
Again? Look, here we go again. We got variants. Really need to keep a mask on hand and follow the plan. Get the vaccine and second shots, whether woman or man. Black out who tips is doing their part, but the dummies expand. Niggas would rather believe a bunch of misinformation. Fuck y'all idiots not getting shots. Now we gotta regress. If we keep going in this direction, we never can rest. Never can get back to the lives we be living the best. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the intubation crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. Damn fool, stop the lying, stop the ventilator crying, cause it's your fault that motherfuckers dying. I do not understand this shit. I'm not a fan of this. We were like one win from the pandemic championship, but fuckers wanna leave it to game 7 with Giannis Delta Kumpo blocking forward progression and Chris middle fingers to your plans. Man, damn. Looks like it's no Drew holiday for you and your mans. I'm sick of black people dying for real, so I'm just writing this new piece to let you know how I feel.
Coronavirus.
Yeah. Fuck that COVID-19. It's unseen. It's creeping in the air for you to breathe. Yeah. So fuck that COVID-19. It's unseen. It's creeping in the air for you to breathe. Yeah.
Coronavirus. Let's talk about it. A bill would ban vaccination proof to enter civic facilities in Louisiana. So right now they have it where it's like, hey, you can't come up in the federal building without proof of vaccination, blah, blah, blah. But apparently state and local governments and educational institutions in Louisiana could not require proof of vaccination against COVID-19 for entry into government facilities under legislation advanced by State Senate Committee Tuesday. The 4-2 vote sends the House passed bill by Representative Larry Bagley, a Republican from Stonewall, so you know he's gonna pass it, to the full Senate. As it came out of the committee, the bill would subject any government or state-run educational institution to civil penalties if they require COVID-19 vaccinations for entry. Keep in mind, schools and stuff already require vaccinations for entry with other vaccines, but this one would be the one they say you don't need it for. Backers say government entities should not be asking about a person's health status. Opponents of the bill.
What? That's not a health status thing.
Also, do they feel that way about every disease? You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. And also the high contradiction of like, these are the same legislators that want to like look in children's pants to see what genitals they have.
Yeah, these are the same people that want to control vaginas. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, like just the irony of them even presenting this shit.
Right.
But it'll pass because they got the numbers probably. Backers say government and of course opponents say we trying to stop disease.
Yeah, the number's gonna go up and nobody's gonna give a fuck, and you're gonna have people dying, but they don't care.
Here's how you know it's bullshit. The bill would not apply to government health facilities.
Why not? If you're gonna do it, let's do them all then. Fuck it.
That would risk losing federal funding under any federal requirements for vaccines. So basically, we want the money from the federal government to come into our state, but we don't want to do anything smart for ourselves. We're only going to do the smart thing because we're forced to get the money. It passed the House last month 59-26. If approved by the Senate, it will go back to the House for approval to a Senate amendment. So yeah, that's wild. Also, Tuesday they approved in the House employers in Louisiana who require workers to get COVID-19 vaccinations will have to provide exemptions for religious and medical reasons under the bill, which still has a long way to go for that one. So that was not as close to finish.
Yeah, and they kill me with that. Did you think the virus gives a fuck about your religion and your background?
Right.
The virus go, ooh, fresh pair of lungs. It does not care.
It's also just the fact that you're not making this decision for yourself. Really, you're making this decision for everybody. So
correct,
because of how infectious it is, you can't really make the argument of like, oh no, this is a personal decision. It's like it's a personal decision with a very contagious disease. It's not necessarily the same.
Right. And it's very stupid because every time you turn around, COVID says electric boogaloo and it breakdances, and here pops up another version of it that's even more contagious than the one before.
Right. Let's see. Cal Poly San Luis Obispo reinstates indoor mask mandate. So some people are trying to get the mask mandates back. You know, California is one of these states that, you know, will empower people to do that. It'll be interesting to see if it works. I know UCLA, that college also reinstated their mask mandate because the numbers went up.
Yeah, a lot of universities probably are. Yeah, a lot of university colleges, you have people to stay on campus, not in these dorms breathing on each other. And the last thing you want is an outbreak on campus, because you know what? A lot of people, not a lot of people, a percentage of people probably has opted not to go back to the dormitories. You know what that means? Less money for the universities. You make money when people stay on your campus.
It'll be interesting to see if the kids do it. Because I think all this stuff, people are just realizing like you don't have to do any of it, and they're not gonna make you do shit, you know. And it's always been true, but more now that they say you can take them off, getting them back on, I think is even harder than before. Shanghai moves toward ending their 2-month COVID-19 lockdown. Now in China, you ain't got no choice. So they say you lock down is not really a option.
It's not like our lockdown, which we never was fucking. We call our shit a lockdown, but we was never locked down. Like they shit was like, no, go in the house, and we mean, bitch, you can't come outside unless we say so.
Yeah, the fact that they went back into lockdown as numbers went up, and a lot of jurisdictions here did not take the hint at all. It says a lot. Inspectors asked for authority to go after more COVID fraud. So inspectors general need more authority to go after fraud in the COVID-19 relief programs. The independent committee overseeing federal pandemic relief spending said Tuesday. The agency's watchdogs authorities to administratively prosecute fraudsters is limited to fraud of $150,000 or less from wow, isn't that wild?
Or less.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
So anything more than that, you can just do what the fuck they want to do.
You just got to scam big, scam hard, or go home.
Apparently so. Go big or go home.
Yeah, you can't be out here scamming for less than $1 million because they coming to get you. I mean, less than 150,000 because they're gonna come get you. But yeah. Meanwhile, COVID-19. Yeah, and the Department of Justice is too busy for cases under $1 million. So there's a gap between 150. So the sweet spot is less than $1 million, more than 150,000. And they basically just ain't got the time and the resources to come get your ass.
Right. And they're like, no, increase ours so we can meet them. And anything over $1 million, they can handle that. We'll handle anything less than that. That way we can go after everybody.
Yeah, but then there's that gap though.
Yeah, I was saying that's that gap. I say, but they basically need the lower, whoever the lower people is, increase theirs to
right. That's what they want to do.
Okay, to meet wherever the federal government is, so we can go after everybody. Because the thing is, y'all actually are taking people's money and frauding them and sending them fake tests and all this shit. Yes, you need to be prosecuted.
Yeah, this ain't one of them like victimless crimes or whatever. Like. These motherfuckers are the problem.
Right. People are going on sites and shit like that, doing stuff online, and you basically taking their money.
Yeah. So, yeah, go get them.
Go get them.
Elon Musk demands Tesla workers return to office and leaked emails. If you don't show up, we will assume you have resigned.
He's an ass.
Yeah, he's one of those people that has such great PR for a certain type of person. Like if you're just kind of tangentially informed, I think if you did like a poll, a lot of people, especially white people, would be like, yo, Elon Musk a pretty good dude, or and then the woke people that just hate all billionaires, not no offense to them, but nobody really listens to them.
No, they don't.
You know what I mean? Like
I'm sorry, y'all. No, nobody listens.
Like it's a nice applause break during a Bernie Sanders speech, but like people don't really believe that shit because the billionaires have a lot of this cult of personality shit that people fall into, and you can listen to. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and someone was talking about how Bill Gates is a great business mind. And then the other person had to break down, like, Bill Gates not the person that made the business decisions. If anything, he made some bad business decisions for Microsoft. But the dude that actually ran the day-to-day business kind of salvaged all that shit. Bill Gates is a brilliant mind. He's an innovator and all this stuff, but just actual business decisions, risk-taking stuff, he's lost a lot in his ventures. And then I forget the guy's name, but then this other dude has to come behind him and be like, all right, let me handle the day-to-day.
Because everybody ain't built for that.
But the thing is, Bill Gates is a billionaire.
Right.
So when you see, you just like, obviously this motherfucker is good at business or whatever. And I think that's how a lot of people think. It's like an imaginary line in the world, in the sand, where I'll put it this way. It's very, whatever you think, good or bad, it's like an imaginary line in the sand that just people get very simplistic about it. It's like, people go, oh, there's no such thing as a good billionaire. All billionaires are evil or something. And they all got their wage money from exploiting people, blah, blah. And then, it's like, well, I don't feel the same way about Rihanna that I feel about Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. I do think there's a difference. I actually think the way Bill Gates spends his money is a lot less reprehensible than the way Elon Musk spends his money.
Yep, but that requires nuance, and people don't want that. They just want to go, you're a billionaire, you're fucking evil. And in my personal opinion, a lot of people feel that way because they know that's a status they will never make in their lifetime. So they just want to write them people off. Like, if you make this amount of money, you hit this level, you just automatically evil. Like, people just change overnight. No, you are.
Well, there's a bunch of good millionaires. Like, the money keeps going up to, like, you can be because people just like who they like, But my point being, Elon Musk during this whole pandemic was never down with this shit. He moved his operations for his company out of California because California has strict rules about, listen, COVID is real. You can't have people in a factory work. He had them in there working anyway.
Getting sick,
was like, fuck y'all. People was getting sick anyway. Yeah, like he's been on some bullshit the whole pandemic. Of course his emails are gonna say this. He's always felt this way. And I feel bad for the people that work there in that racist ass company. And you don't believe me, go look it up.
Right. And now I got to make a decision on whether or not to go to work or not.
Right. Reported COVID-19 infection. Now, this is the part. This is going to wow a lot of people possibly. Because I don't know how many people know this. Okay. But COVID-19 infection levels are nearly 6 times higher than last Memorial Day.
6 times?
Than last Memorial Day. Think about how people were acting last Memorial Day and think about how people are acting now.
No, people was in the house.
People basically on some like it's over shit.
Of course.
And like I said, I felt crazy almost going out yesterday.
Yeah, we do all
with my mask on. I'm just like it's even like it's worse than before. It's getting worse every day to where I'm like, only motherfucker got a mask on. Did not. No one saw the news. Like the news is saying this shit is out here.
They just don't
big
care.
Time.
Even when we go out and about, I think when we went somewhere and like several stores one day and only one cashier had a mask on. Like every store we went to, I only seen one cashier that had a mask on. And like you say, it's one of those things where I'm trying to be funny sometimes, and I've calmed down, but people like me are like, just don't lift the mask mandates. And people go, why? I was like, because once you lift them, people aren't going to put them bitches back on. And that's exactly what happened. It's like, once people realize, oh, fuck it. And you have a lot of people, because so many people are taking off their mask and so many people don't give a fuck. You have people that have not caught the coronavirus, catching it for the first time in like 2 to 3 years because it's out there so hard and it's so contagious that you're like, I caught this motherfucker because y'all didn't give a fuck.
This week also marks the 8th consecutive week of increasing COVID-19 cases in the U.S. On average, the U.S. is reporting 110,000 new cases every day, and for the 7th consecutive week, COVID-19 cases among children has also increased. Last week, 112,000 additional pediatric COVID-19 cases were reported, a doubling of case counts from 4 weeks prior, according to a new report from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Last year at this time, the U.S. was reporting around 10,000 pediatric cases a week. Do you understand what I'm saying? 112,000 last week. Last year at this same time, 10,000. That's just the kids. That's just the kids.
Yeah, and you know what?
That's insane.
And what's crazy, y'all know what's not happening? Summer camps. Like when the summer camps and shit get popped off. I remember even before.
Isn't it summer camp time now?
Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah.
And they're not doing summer camps right now. You sure?
No, I didn't say they're not doing summer camps. I said, and you're not including summer camps. Like summer camps are just getting started. You gave those numbers, and these numbers don't include summer camp numbers.
Oh, no. This isn't from schools. This is from pediatricians. Oh. So it wouldn't matter if you got it in summer camp or the school. When you go to the doctors, when the numbers they're counting.
Okay.
Yeah. So like this is, but just the fact that everything is going on, like
yes,
the fact that it is like, yeah, summer camp is still going. A year ago we were scared. Now I think it's just people not scared no more.
No, and a lot of people have, honestly, a lot of people they just gave up, and a lot of people have gotten to they came to the conclusion that fucking I'm gonna get it regardless. And like I've heard people, they joke about it and shit like that, but a lot of people like, fuck it, just go ahead and get it over with. But the thing is, you can catch it multiple times. This ain't no shit you can catch once, and that's it, nigga. And also, when you catch it, you do not know how your body will respond to it.
It could be long COVID. You just don't know until afterwards. And long COVID is underreported and undertreated. So, I think that's a big fear of mine, is like they don't seem to know that much about it. And you can survive, and then you have an elevated heart rate for a long time and have a stroke, a few months later. And people might not count that as part of the COVID, but all these people coming back to the hospital within a year of having long COVID, that's a scary thing.
Mm-hmm.
Inaccurate oxygen level readings delayed COVID-19 therapies for Black and Hispanic patients. COVID-19 patients in racial and ethnic minority groups were delayed in receiving therapies because of inaccurate reading of oxygen saturation levels.
What do you mean?
So the study published Tuesday in JAMA Internal Medicine found that overestimation of arterial oxygen saturation levels by pulse oximetry, which is like when they test your pulse and then go, this is what your oxygen level is. Mm-hmm. But it was overestimating how much oxygen was in Black and brown people, which made them go, oh, they're doing fine. Like there's numbers in a hospital where you go, this below this number, we got to do, whether it's a crash card or oxygen, whatever type of situation they want to start monitoring. Or even if they just go, you can go home. But then you find out that the numbers are inaccurate, and that was causing a delay in care. And of course, that's going to lead to worse outcomes health-wise.
Yeah, and possibly deaths because you're sending people home.
Black and Hispanic patients were more likely to experience unrecognized delayed recognition of eligibility to receive COVID-19 therapy. The studies also said, adding that such disparities could be the reason for differing outcomes of COVID-19 outcomes between races. And also, the medical health industry not believing Black people's pain already, brown people's pain already. So it's he says he's hurting, but he can't be that bad. I looked at his oxygen levels. He's fine. Send him home. And
my thing is, I guess, what happened? Do you have a different number for Blacks or white? Like, I don't understand how these numbers are wrong.
Yeah, and also, like, how'd you find out? The Food and Drug Administration issued a warning for pulse oximeters, which work by shining a red light through a patient's fingertip last February, saying that they may be less accurate if the person has dark skin pigmentation.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because
shout out to the FDA coming through under Biden, apparently, because even though COVID happened for 2 years under Trump or whatever the fuck, or for a year or some change under Trump, apparently nobody the FDA was like, oh, it's close enough. We got other shit to be worried about.
That makes sense. Like every fucking thing else, we tell them, hey, even not trying to find it, even the censors to wash your hands, sometimes them shits don't come on unless you almost have to fucking break dance in front of it some of them pick up your pigmentation of your skin. So I can see that the shit ain't made for us. Why? Because we're never in the test study groups.
Yeah, so that's some wild shit right there. All right, let's move into some other news. Let's see, what other section do we want to talk about? How about LGBTQ news?
Let me see what you want to be. You better move your body. You better move your feet. And I want to groove. Show me what's cool. Riding, caring, baby. LGBTQ news.
Try to take us down, but we still around.
We let it get out.
Try to still shine, but we on the rise.
We let
You can't do what we want to do.
we let LGBTQ news.
All right. Let's see. Bratz releases, it is Pride Month, June 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, we made it. It's your turn at the capitalism table.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up like the blacks did Juneteenth.
I can't wait to for the gay pride mattress sales. Y'all need mattresses too.
I just want to
The car sales. I'm here for them.
I'm just trying to see. I want to get some motherfucking free gay ice cream. Did they recall the Pride ice cream, or was it just the Juneteenth ice cream?
Just the Juneteenth.
I
I want to
like-
open up my ice cream and glitter sprinkle out of it.
Finally, it's
Yes. Techno music play on that bitch. Bump, 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 bump. Do, 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 do.
That's what I want. I want lights to start going off.
Yes.
I heard the
the
ice cream-
party.
I heard the ice cream come with glow sticks.
Come on. Yes.
You just open it up.
Because y'all do everything better than us.
I'm coming. All right.
Yes.
Bratz getting in on this capitalism. They released same-sex couple dolls to celebrate LGBTQ plus community.
Oh, baby dolls, let's go.
What's interesting with Bratz because because I'm not up on it.
Mhm.
Did they have other couples before this, and then this? I just thought they were like, I don't know. I thought Bratz was just like, you get one doll.
You do. You normally do.
Okay, so then this. Okay, that's a dope choice then.
Mhm.
It looks like they come with signs. I can't even think straight. Queer and unapologetic. Did they make the signs, or the signs come with them? They come with them. Wow, that's dope, man. I feel like the target for this brand is probably gonna be grown-ups who never got to be kids that play with gay dolls.
Come on, they gonna elbow the hell out of them kids. Them kids be like, "Mommy, I want," and the kid gonna get a 2-piece to the face.
Yeah, like I always just thought Bratz dolls was, hoes, for lack of a better term.
That's how they always dress, ain't they?
It was the hoe dolls. It was-
Yes, I love these hoes.
yeah. Like,
yes.
and I'm not shaming either. I'm not
Me
saying that with
either.
any judgment. I just was like, oh, the hoe dolls.
Yeah, I pick up a brat doll. I hear, "Don't stop, get it,
Right.
Pop back with it." Yes.
Like, that's what I thought the Bratz dolls always were. I had no
that's,
idea.
That's the music I hear when I see a brat doll.
Like Bratz dolls, they come with a little bit of clothes. They ain't gonna have
Mm-mm.
ain't no
They-
need for all them accessories and wardrobes like
Mm-mm.
Barbie.
No, they look like it's permanently summertime. They are permanently going to Freaknik.
Bratz dolls live out of suitcase.
Come on, yeah, they do.
Barbie need a dream home with dream cabinets and closets and shit.
Mm-mm.
Bratz dolls
The brat
like,
dolls like, "Bitch, I'm going to get the bag."
give me my whole bag. I'm going, it's baller alert time.
Come on.
She's a 5-star.
NBA All-Star Weekend, bitch, let's go.
Yeah, that's what I always thought. So yeah, anyway, but that's dope for them for the inclusion, and I'm sure they're gonna sell a lot of gay dolls, and good for them. It's and then because it's only girl dolls in the Bratz, it does. I guess it's gonna end up being like, just only can be lesbian dolls. So I don't know. Maybe they'll do even more. Let's see. There's a 40% of Republicans believe teachers can influence children's sexual orientation or gender.
That's not a true statement at all.
Depends on what they believe, because I agree with them. Conservatives have spent last several months denouncing LGBTQ teachers as groomers and pedophiles, with right-wing pundits often saying that they believe talking to children about LGBTQ issues can turn kids gay. It turns out a large number of Republicans believe teachers can actually make children turn queer. 40% of Republican adults said they believe teachers can influence student sexuality and gender identity. And only 27% of Democrats, 29% of independents agree. Here's the reason I say I agree. I don't mean I agree in the way they mean it, obviously.
Right.
But I do think someone outside of your house that's not on that bullshit can let you know that it's okay to live your identity. And that's why they're so fucking afraid of these teachers getting in these classrooms and teaching inclusion, tolerance, love, diversity, empowerment.
Yeah, because you teach that, all of a sudden we gonna lose our kids.
Because a lot of these parents basically got kids that are gay or trans or whatever orientation they may have, and those parents are purposely not teaching them stuff, not wanting them to see anybody who isn't straight living their best life. They're teaching them whatever bigoted stuff they have in their religion or in their personal lives. And so those kids do become afraid, and they do go into this, I need to fit the binary, I need to fit into the role that my parents have for me, or else I'm going to disappoint them, or there's going to be punishment or disowning or shame or disappoint, whatever it is. And so those kids will be in the closet and they will live that way. You hear LGBTQ people talk about this all the fucking time, where they talk about, I came out at blank age, meaning you had to be in somewhere because somebody wanted you in. And it was like, in order to survive, I have to be in. And so they're afraid that with the hours of their child's life you don't control 100%, like school,
right?
They're afraid they're gonna see some teacher somewhere that's like, it's okay to be gay. Yeah, like it's not the end of the world. Like
that's why they want to punish, because if you see the adults being punished, you feel like, well, what hope do I have?
Yeah, they try to get rid of the LGBTQ alliances in school and shit like that. Like there's a reason they're doing this stuff. What happens is Democrats and liberal people, we like to say like, it's just how you're born, it's not a choice. So therefore it becomes an inalienable right? Which I do believe in many cases
you need to get into places and pass the laws to make it an inalienable right, because other than that, these people go fuck that and they're gonna fight against it.
And I do believe that it is an inalienable right. I do believe that for a lot of people it's not a choice. My point is, even if it was a choice, so the fuck what? Someone wake up tomorrow and be like, I like a different gender than I liked yesterday. What fucking business of it is ours? Is it ours? Is when it comes to someone's personal choice like that, especially if they're consenting, and it's not some illegal thing as they try to make it, where it's like these teachers are pedophiles. I'm talking about consenting people of the same age or people that are of age. What fucking business of it is ours? But is it of ours? But what they want to do is they want to have shame at a very impressionable age, so that you will have to unwork that for the rest of your life. Hopefully meaning you stay in the closet. Hopefully meaning you fit the binary. Hopefully meaning that you try to perform cis heteronormativity as much as you can. Gender is fluid. Sexuality is fluid. Because niggas go to prison and start fucking dudes and then get out and they be like, yeah, I'm not gay though. Like people do have this fluidity within them, or the ability to adapt or whatever, and it can be a choice for people. It doesn't, on some level, people, whether it's a survival thing, whether it's a convenience thing, whatever the fuck it is. The point is, they want you to be ashamed. So they're like, we don't want these teachers talking about it, because they might let our kid feel some level of being seen or freedom or empowerment.
And now this kid comes,
and not right safety. Now this kid comes back to my house,
and I got to deal with it.
And I got to deal with this kid that knows more than what I want them to know. That's what they're afraid of. When they say these numbers, I think people should think about it one step deeper than they're saying, because our reaction is to be like, no, Republicans are wrong. Fuck that. My thing is, if they were right, so the fuck what? What does that mean? Like, if my kid wasn't gay when he left the house, but once he went to school and he was around other people that was gay and shit, all of a sudden he was gay. It's like, then you know what? That means your kid got freedom and got seen somewhere that you wouldn't allow, because your kid was miserable trying to be straight for you. I guarantee you that shit.
Yeah, they were. And also it's one of those things too, if you look at it, children that are more educated and find themselves particularly if they lived in these oppressed households, they're more apt to leave early. They're more apt to like separate from their family. And the last thing they want is for them to leave, because they leave, you completely lost control once they leave.
Yep. All right. Starbucks is to pay travel costs for trans employees getting gender affirming care. Shout out to Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
You
Don't give them a side of frappe. A side of frappe on your trip.
Oh, I guess so. I don't know. I mean, I just think that's a dope thing to do. Knowing that, Starbucks is one of those places that is a big ass corporation. So a lot of people hit it when it's fucking up, and I get it, rightfully so. But they pay above minimum wage and all that stuff, and they're also, this is a big thing for a lot of people. And considering that there's so many states that are now making it outlawed to get gender affirming care, to get reproductive care and all this stuff, it is good that a corporation is taking a stand to be like, listen, we might not be able to affect the law right now, but in the meantime, we'll get you someplace and we'll help you. That's dope. Because a lot of times, even if you have a job, you don't have the money and the resources to pay for this shit. Now, especially once you add travel in there.
Come on.
Let's see. Tokyo to recognize same-sex partnerships from November. The Tokyo Metropolitan Government will recognize same-sex partnerships from November, a move that comes amid growing calls in Japan for equality for sexual minorities who remain largely unable to get married. Same-sex couples in the country, most populous areas, would be able to get certificates to prove their partnership status, which they would be able to use when applying to for government and private sector services, according to a draft of the plan posted on the Tokyo government website. The Japanese public largely supports same-sex marriage, with the poll conducted by the Asahi newspaper last March showing 65% in favor, but the conservative liberal Democratic Party, what a weird title for that, which has held power for most of the last 7 decades, has yet to make concrete progress on the issue. To be eligible for the Tokyo's partnerships, both people need to be at least 18, with at least one of them residing, working, or attending school in the capital, according to the draft. Foreign nationals can also apply as long as they meet the criteria. Some level of progress. Let's see. Supreme Court to decide whether businesses may refuse LGBTQ couples for same-sex wedding services. Remember when you thought that was settled? Everything else that people thought was settled was not settled. It's a constant fight, and here we go. You knew that shit with Roe was a slippery slope. Here's another one, another slope that's flipping right now, because this shit right here was not all the progress, especially the 2012 type of progress made under Obama. All that shit's up for grabs.
Of course. But Obama didn't do nothing though. All these people keep saying that bullshit.
Right. All that shit's up for grabs. So
what did he do?
I would not be shocked if they rule you can discriminate against same-sex couples. And I
for weddings. So it goes to weddings, it's gonna go to other shit too. Trust. If it starts there, it's gonna be all of a sudden housing, it's gonna be hotels, like this branches out to other shit. It's gonna be restaurants, it's gonna be anybody that feels a type of way. They have the right, and that's what they want it to be, because if they make it like that, all of a sudden they want you to feel like it's a fight that you can't win. And it's funny though, because niggas act like this shit don't affect them. Y'all do know that's the same shit they gonna do to us too, right? Or they want to do to us too, right? The same shit yo great grandpapa and Martin Luther King and MLK and all them fought for. They want to go back to that shit too. Like, the goal is slavery. I keep saying that. Everybody keep acting free and past that bullshit, but that's the truth.
My thing is, if it's weddings, what's next? Because right now people will just go as weddings, but like, what's the difference between a wedding and just being like, I don't want to service a gay person for being gay? I don't believe in that. It's against my religion. A gay person came in and ordered a number 3 on the combo list, and I said, I don't serve gay people here. Get the fuck out. I don't understand.
And purchase something, all of a sudden you're denying them services.
yeah, I don't see why people act like, I don't know, like I don't. It just seems like
people have lost.
We should be fighting harder than just being on Twitter being snarky.
And people have lost critical thinking, because the thing is, don't believe them at their word. Because people go, well, they just mean there's no bitch. If they take this, they gonna take everything. What make you think they're gonna stop here?
Yeah, every judge that was asked about Roe v. Wade cleverly avoided the question during, their vetting, and now look at them. A man who tackled Dave Chappelle, remember from a couple weeks ago, said they've now talked to him. He obviously has mental health issues. He's been also arrested or added a charge of him trying to stab his roommate a year ago.
Wow.
I think he actually did stab him. I don't know if he stabbed him with that gun knife thing.
Right.
But he said he was triggered by the comedian's LGBT jokes. The man accused of tackling Dave Chappelle during the show says the comedian's jokes triggered him. 23-year-old Isaiah Lee discussed his case during an interview with the New York Post, in which he explained his reason for going on stage and attacking Chappelle. He claims he was offended by Dave's material, wanted him to know it. Lee said, I identify as bisexual, and I wanted him to know what he said was triggering. I wanted him to know that next time he should consider first running his material by people it could affect. Apparently, Dave addressed his transgender controversies that night before Lee rushed the stage. The comedian talked about how he didn't have a problem with trans people until they took his closer content out of context and warped it. And that's not the only thing that ticked Lee off. He said he was also pushed to the edge when Chappelle made a homeless jokes, an experience that he's dealt with at a young age. He said, I'm also a single dad. My son is 5. It's a struggle, and I wanted Dave Chappelle to know it's not a joke. Plus, there was reportedly jokes made earlier in the night by an opener who talked about pedophilia, which triggered Lee as well. He says he was sexually abused as a minor. Lee also, I gotta say, you can't go to concerts then. You can't be going to stand up if
stay at the house.
Listen, you're gonna need some therapy or something. It's a lot of wild shit being said on
the world will not adjust to you.
It's a lot of wild shit being said on the stage at a stand-up show. The reaction can't ever be, I'm gonna go stab this nigga. That
can't be the first response.
As staunchly as I disagree with the shit that Dave Chappelle be talking about, that is also not the precedent I want to set, because we only think about it on our side of the fence. And it's always like, I don't like what Dave Chappelle be saying or something. Look, that's just the ranges of it. Cool. I feel what y'all talking about, until it's somebody I do fuck with and some other asshole decides that he's triggered by so-and-so making jokes about white people or so-and-so making jokes about straight people.
Right.
And then it's like some type of weird free-for-all where the violence is the thing that we work backwards from. And you obviously can't have that. The worst part about this is not even what happened with Chappelle, because, I mean, he's ultimately fine. Thank God. Honestly, I'm not. And the reason I'm saying thank God is for the next sentence I'm about to say. These niggas really want a martyr. And by these niggas, I mean the woke cancel culture people are the ones that are the real problem. And if something would have actually happened to Chappelle, it's not gonna just end with them going, I guess I learned my lesson. These people in the power dynamic system that are higher up are getting off on being the victim, even without being the victim. They're not victims of anything. It's that white guy suing that company, that representation company, being like, see, that's the whole vibe that Chappelle, Joe Rogan, a lot of these dudes are going for, where it's like the real victim is me, the straight guy, being told that people don't like my jokes. I'm the victim here, and cancel culture and woke people and this, that, and the other are the problem. Okay, cool. If something would have happened to Dave Chappelle, that shit would have just went times 1,000, because they've been doing all this shit without any real evidence. Then they would actually be the first time, because keep in mind, all the violence against transgender people don't count. All the violence, racial violence against black people, none of that counts. Hey, I'm just making jokes. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing. If somebody attacks one of these people on stage, it is going to become, I mean, Will Smith smacked Chris Rock, and half these comedians lost their fucking nerve and was, see, this is what's the problem right now. He done changed the whole way, so they want to be victims so bad. This is fodder for them. And I'm glad nothing happened to Chappelle, because it would have been worse. And even with just this guy saying this, they will be using this as proof that see, the woke people are out of control. It's the cancel culture, the PC. It's going to be that bullshit. So that sucks. And I think ultimately this dude clearly has a mental health issue. This is not sane behavior. And I'm not even saying that it's not even that I feel like his explanation doesn't make sense. It's just once you go up there and try to stab somebody, it's not like the conversation in there. I mean, shit, you saw after the slap with Chris Rock. It didn't end the conversation. People been dragging Will and Jada for months now.
Mm-hmm.
Like people think violence is a problem solver, but it rarely is. It has to be
Rarely.
a very specific instance
Right.
for violence to be the problem solver you want it to be.
Yeah, because normally violence beget violence.
Yeah, or it's just life don't have rules like a boxing match where it's, oh, you knocked him out, end of the fight. Anyway, I told my grandmother and grandmother who fought for his civil rights to be able to speak would be upset at the things he said. That's what he said he told to Chappelle when he was hurt. He said they spat on me and twisted me as if on purpose. Chappelle allegedly responded, "Now your story will die with you, son." With that being said, okay, all right. But yeah, I feel like there are gonna be people that want to be like, this is a good thing, and I'm like, I don't think it's a good thing necessarily. And I also don't think that person would like that also could have ended worse for that person. Like, thank God someone didn't kill him or something back there, because those motherfuckers fucked him up really bad. And making a song that was almost incomprehensible and named Dave Chappelle over a year ago, it just seemed like that person's not fully there. New conservative conspiracy theory. Speaking of crazy, new conservative conspiracy theory thinks that Pop from Rice Krispies, you know, one of the mascots, they think
Snap, Crackle, Pop.
They think Pop is transgender.
Oh shit!
The Dr. Image has the far right believing Kellogg's has announced that one of the mascots from Rice Krispies cereal is transitioning.
I mean, it's called Snap, Crackle, Pop. I mean, don't you think they have a? I mean, what do they?
I always thought they were 3 gay dudes.
Okay,
but I mean, now that I'm looking at this picture, they could also be 3 lesbians. I don't like, they got a very androgynous vibe to them, and but it's not like the cereal became. I mean, it's trash cereal,
ain't
right?
it though? You got to add sugar for it to taste like something,
right? At least Karen can agree on this one. Finally, Jesus Christ, have an opinion or two, Karen.
I do, and it ain't good cereal. I haven't had that shit in years.
But yeah, they like so, and this is the things they do. Like I said, they want some type of victimhood, but they just make shit up. And this is one of the reasons why people say, not to go here again, but oh, Democrats have a messaging problem. I'm always like, bro, you can't craft a message that'll reach somebody that thinks a fake news site saying one of the Rice Krispie mascots is transitioning. There's no message you can reach them with.
That nigga been transitioning forever. How old is that cereal?
Like, they been gone. Like, a person that's willing to be upset about this is gone. Don't court them. That's not gonna work. We got to find some other middle ground people that we might can sway, but these motherfuckers are out. They are off. All right. But yeah, the allegation is false and, you know, just ridiculous. All right, let's get into some other news. Let's see.
That shit was made in 1928, my nigga.
The Snap Crackle.
Yeah, Rice Krispies. Yes.
Yeah, they ain't know nothing about transitioning back in 1928. But also, like, these niggas can literally look at anything and be like, yep, gay. You know, like, just anything. Like,
what did they think about the Keebler elves then? Goddamn.
Yeah, like,
them niggas do live in a tree.
I mean, listen, I assume most cereal mascots are gay. You know? If you just look at them.
I know the Count Chocolate is.
I mean, if you just look at them, I would assume most of them are gay. You got Tony the Tiger. I mean, I think he's a tiger, but he also
he's great.
He also has like this weird handkerchief thing going on, and he don't have no clothes.
Yes.
And he has no clothes on.
Oh no, never.
I mean, I just assumed he was into some freaky shit. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't judging.
Toucan Sam
definitely gay, you know. I don't know if the Sugar Smacks dude was gay. He was definitely black, but I don't know if the frog was gay.
I mean, look at Charms.
Yeah, dig 'em. Something was wrong.
Come
with
on, dig 'em.
I don't know what was up with dig 'em. I just know something was wrong. but Captain Crunch, gay, completely.
Here's a captain with no ship.
He was like the fourth letter in YMCA. I don't understand what the problem was with them being gay. That's what I don't get.
Either.
That honeybee from Cheerios, come on, man. It was
that rabbit from Twix.
Trix. Yeah, the Trix rabbit. You know, I don't know. And the reason that I assume they was gay is because think about it's not the mascot or the company's fault. It's so many straight people were so uptight they gave away all the fun, jovial shit that means it's a cartoon. So of course, all the mascots have to be gay now because we gave away the rainbow. Toucan and Sam can't be straight.
we did that.
We did
that.
I
like a rainbow. Rainbows are pretty.
Sugar Smacks. These are things that we associate with people being gay. So now Sugar Smacks got to be gay. Honey got to be gay. Like it's
Honey Grams.
Yeah, we gave away all this.
What was that bee called on Cheerios?
I don't know what his name is, but in 1928 or whatever they came up with it probably wasn't gay. But then we just decided being straight means black and white, salt and pepper to taste, bland, boring, colorless, drab, monotone bullshit. So now anybody having fun is gay. That's why the Pride Parade don't even have to make sense. It's just people doing whatever the fuck because the main thing they're doing is having fun, and that
having
fun is gay, according to.
Well, I'm really gay then because I like to have fun.
Literally, like we took the word for joy, gay, and was like, this is not a thing we want to be.
Because Flintstones used to tell us we have a gay old time.
Right. Like we wow, man. All right, let's get into some other news. Let's see. I want to talk about this. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about guns in schools, y'all. Embattled Uvalde School District Police Chief says he's in contact with investigators, but declines to answer CNN questions.
Yeah, they don't answer nobody questions because they fearing lawsuits.
He said, they asked, what's up with this investigation? Why you ain't talking to him? Said CNN's Aaron Cooper. And he said this to the Pedro Pete Arredondo, who was sworn in city council secretly like last night with no ceremony and with no like.
I wonder why.
Right. And he had won the council seat. He was scheduled to do it, but of course the mayor was like, we'll do that shit in a few weeks maybe. We gotta this is not top priority. This ain't top priority, but then they did it secretly behind closed doors. So then he got asked by Aaron Cooper about this, and he said, I'm in contact with DPS every day. That's the Department of Public Safety that's investigating. And outside his office minutes later, he told CNN's Shimon Prokopeks, I hope I said the right, Prokopeks, that he's not going to release any further information while funerals are ongoing. We're going to be respectful to the family. We're going to do that eventually whenever this is done and the family's quit grieving. Then we'll do that, obviously.
No, that don't mean what I'm not saying funny. Them family grieving has nothing to do with your investigation. You do your job.
How long does it take to quit grieving your child?
They saying that because there's no time frame on it. That's the whole purpose behind that. Nobody can that. Do your job.
Like, what does that mean?
The families are going to grieve regardless. Do your job.
And other guns and kids stories, Tallahassee, Florida. It's all about the kids. Florida high school raffles off rifles and handguns. So this was an idea I had yesterday, to be honest. But I was saying, you say you want to raise money for a gun, then you go spend the money on school supplies. But they said no. What we'll do is we'll have a raffle, $100 a ticket for a gun, for automatic rifles, hunting gear, firearms, and semi-automatic. I'm sorry, and $100 a ticket, and we'll use that money to get the school supplies because people want to win the gun. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know nothing about no gun, but semi-automatic means you can shoot more than one at a time.
It just means you can shoot a lot of guns, Karen, a lot of bullets.
Okay.
There's adjustments you can make to the gun to make it fully automatic and stuff that sometimes there's a lot of ways around it in America. But yeah, Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. They saw Texas and said, hold my beer. Okay.
I can do one better.
Texas man said he wanted to go hunt humans and got arrested for terroristic threats. Had a whole lot of guns too.
Woo.
Want to go human hunting.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting humans.
The funny thing about this article and articles like these, whenever they do this, they always show you the pictures of the person's house, and it's full of guns and ammunition. You can see where the police went in there. He had bulletproof vests, he had long rifles, he had multiple handguns, big ass banana clips, shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
His feet is
some huge guns.
His home is less than 1,000 feet from an elementary school. The police said there was no evidence of direct threats to the school. Here's my thing. What did he do that was really illegal? Like, we made it where you can do all this shit. Like, I'm not even sure. Like, we're saying terroristic threats, but how much of that is just Texas being scared now that they just had a shooting, and so they're cracking down? But if he would have said that shit before that shooting the other day, he probably would have been fine with his guns.
Of course.
They would have been like, well, we didn't think he was going to do it. He used to show up at Wendy's and say he was going to kill a school full of people. We'd be like, he's crazy. You're so wild. Like, I wonder if he really did anything illegal. You know? Like, is musing about killing people illegal? I don't know. It might be illegal in Texas, but it just seemed like they was kind of lax on that shit for a minute. I guess they cracking down now.
Temporarily into a short-term memory. Ooh, piece of candy. And then they'll forget.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Texas, Supreme Court blocks a Texas law that censors social media.
Good.
The Supreme Court buckled down and blocked a pending Texas law to control social media censorship. The law bans online platforms from restricting users' political views. I don't know if it's good or not. The 5-4 ruling comes after tech and social media companies argued that the law would violate an individual's First Amendment, which is freedom of speech. The Texas law will allow Texas and the state of Texas to sue companies that censor an individual based on their viewpoints by banning them, discriminating against them, and removing their posts. Yes, see, I don't know about this, because a lot of times, basically, in order to justify a lot of white supremacist type shit and bigoted and racist shit, all you really got to say is that's my political opinion. And we know that the Republicans have made white supremacist politics a big part of their platform. So things that would get you banned, or things that, you know, you should be censored from doing, like saying the election was stolen or something, I can see them being like, well, that is a party in America that believes the election was stolen. And there's politicians that got elected saying the election was stolen. We can't ban that off of your platform. You can't just take people that keep saying that and go, Marjorie Taylor Greene, get the fuck off of Twitter. You keep spreading this false conspiracy theory, and it's imperiling our democracy. So I can see how this ruling is actually a bad thing, where they're like, no, you can't kick them off. Which opinions we talking about that you can't get kicked off for? You don't understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I guess I'm trying to, and I guess from my understanding was that they brought it up going, we tired of y'all kicking Republicans off.
That's why they did it. And then the Republican, and then it's going up to the Supreme Court, and people were hoping that the Supreme Court would be like, nah, certain political opinions you should get kicked off for. But now it's turning into no, it's a First Amendment thing, because the people that get kicked off of social media are mostly Republicans, and they're politicians too. Some of them are elected and hold office and get kicked off because they're saying very irresponsible, right-wing, bigoted bullshit.
Correct.
So that's why they want this shit to go to the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court will be like, yeah, you can't, it's freedom of speech. They can say whatever they want. Same reason Trump's not on there. It's just his political opinion. It was stolen.
Okay, maybe I'm backwards. So they shouldn't have voted against it. I don't like, maybe I'm not comprehending.
Yeah, I don't think they buckled down and blocked the pending Texas law that controls social media censorship. The law bans online platforms from restricting users' political views. So I think, let me see.
Am I thinking it's
Oh no, you know what? You're right, and I'm wrong.
I'm about to say, am I
Yeah,
thinking it's reverse of what it's doing?
I read it backwards. I'm sorry. It's the law bans online platforms from restricting use. The double negative got me. Yeah, no. You're right. This is a good ruling for the Supreme Court.
Okay, because I was like, well, this sounds good.
It remains blocked for now, but it moves to the 5th U.S. Circuit of Appeal, so it could come back.
Okay, because I thought they was like, nah, dog, like these platforms.
The computer and communication industry president, Matthew Screwers, filed the petition and said, we're encouraged that this attack on First Amendment rights has been halted until a court can fully evaluate the repercussions of Texas' ill-conceived statute. Yeah, so it's a good thing. My bad. Good job, Supreme Court. We'll see you when it's time to take away interracial marriage. My bad. Y'all got to pass.
That's what they coming for next. Trust. They coming after it. Put like this: anything you like, or love, or cherish, these niggas is coming after it. So you better fight now.
Baby formula should be fully restocked by July.
Oh, let's go.
So hopefully
parents can hold out to the end, because I know this has got to be horrific.
You know what's interesting? Like, it came to a crescendo like last week. I haven't heard much about it since. Even though they said it would take 8 to 10 weeks to restock stuff, I know they're flying baby formula in from Europe and all this other stuff and importing it from other countries.
And that's probably what's kind of making it a little easier for people, because like it might not be fully in stock, but at least some people are getting it somewhat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did people get it, and that's why people start complaining, or did the news just stop covering? That's my question.
Probably a little bit,
because I haven't really heard much about it, but it sounds like. Or not sounds like, but it seems like it's out of the news cycle.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because,
the last few weeks, it was like that #1 trending story. And
the Daily covered it.
And people was telling women, get them tits to pumping.
Oh, God.
And you're like, the hell's wrong with y'all?
It could be hard to travel this summer. High gas prices, high ticket prices, canceled flights, coronavirus. So I just saw an article that was just kind of bringing that up. And I was like, yeah, I can see that. Like, be careful on your vacations this summer. Not to mention, COVID is higher at 8 times than it was last year, but okay. All right, let's do some other fun news. Let me see. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah. You know what? We should welcome some people to the cookout.
Hey, what's happening? Hey, what's up? Hey, come on in. Hey, y'all bring that ice round back. No, not that.
Welcome to the cookout. Welcome to the cookout. Welcome to the cookout. Welcome to the cookout. That's right. The cookout is the segment of the show we talk about the people out there who are doing the least, and we give them the most, an invitation to the fictional cookout that Black people will be hosting. Oh, today's contestants. Let's get into them. Let's see who's coming to the cookout. Who did the bare minimum? Let's see. How about this one? Watch. Lyft driver kicks a woman out his car after she asked if he's a normal guy who speaks English. His name is James W. Bode. Let me see. I'll put this on screen so we can watch it together as a family. Here it is. Sitting in the car chilling. White lady passenger comes in.
For Jackie, right? How are you? What's that?
So she says, you're like a white guy. He says, what's up?
Excuse me?
Like a normal guy, like you speak English. Sorry.
No, you can get out of the car.
What?
She hit him on the shoulder, said sorry, because she saw he was taking offense to it. And so he said, you can get out the car.
All right. That's inappropriate. What? It's completely inappropriate. If somebody was not white sitting in the seat, what would be the difference?
Are you serious?
She said, "Wow, you're a white guy." Oh. That's okay. I'm not gonna take the ride. You guys can get out.
Yeah, she also had a man with her that was trying to use the Uber. The driver informs him like this is what she did, and the guy's basically like, yeah, okay, well, anyway, so make a left on Marlboro Lane, and he was like, y'all can get the fuck out.
Really? Yeah, completely inappropriate. Oh, you're a fucking asshole. It's all on camera, man. It's all on camera. Punch you in the fucking face. You're gonna threaten me?
Yeah.
Assault?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you guys are racist fuck.
You're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
He proved his point.
Called him a nigger lover.
He proved his point.
You know my favorite part of this? And this is such a weird psychological thing. He does shut his door for him. Isn't that funny, y'all? Like, racist, mad as he was, something in that white racist man that called him a nigger lover still said, let me slam his door shut. I don't want him to get on the road and have to close the door.
And that man, his radar was actually correct.
Oh, for sure. He took off his seatbelt.
No, I'm calling the cops on you, man. It's all on camera. It's all on camera. You guys own the place. Is it your place? That's great. Everyone's gonna know. Fossil's last stand for black people, right? Yeah, fuck off.
So that's where it cuts out. But yeah, that
And he did bring up a good point. He was like, let's say I was brown, but happened to be kind of white presenting.
Right.
You know, because that happens to people all the time.
I mean, the thing for me is a lot of people, there's going to be a lot of drinking at the cookout, and it's going to be a lot of people that need ride shares.
Yes, they need a ride home.
To get home. And all I say is tip this man the highest percentage, okay? We appreciate you, brother.
Welcome to the cookout.
Oh, the Uber is here. Somebody call a ride. It's a white guy, y'all, but don't make a big deal about it.
They're gonna be like, you was booked for 12 full hours. You kept going to the same location, picking up from the same location.
Yes, doing the bare minimum.
Come on, because you know what? That cookout gonna be long as shit.
The Biden administration unveils plan to tackle racism in home appraisals. Things you don't hear anybody talk about.
Come on, home appraisals probably under appraising them homes, not getting them their full prices.
Watch your Uncle Luke Skywalker vote black, vote for Biden. The Biden administration announced a plan that seeks to reduce the impact of racial bias in home appraisal industry, a problem that robs black homeowners of millions of dollars in equity every year, furthering the problematic legacy of redlining and other institutional biases in the housing market decades after they were outlawed. The Property Appraisal and Valuation Equity, or PAVE, gotta have an acronym, action plan calls for creating legislative proposals to create more accountability in the home appraisal industry, which is currently regulated by states but largely self-monitored. It calls for federal rules to limit the impact of potentially biased algorithms that, when used by appraisers, might artificially and negatively impact the home's value. It spells out the federal government should also outline and disseminate information to homeowners about steps they should take to get recourse if they believe they received an appraisal that appears unusually low. It recommends the creation of a database that will aggregate information on appraisals from federally backed mortgages such as FHA and VA loans, and it calls for the government and the appraisal industry to take steps to make the industry, which is currently short-staffed and mostly white, to become more inclusive. The new policies come as home buyers are already dealing with the challenges of a housing market thrown out of whack.
They should. They consistently do that. And, you know, when they go through, I think we've even read stories where they come back years later and they be like, oh, we had to jack up the value of these homes because for the past such and such a years, we've been undervaluing these homes on purpose. But, you know, we've been undervaluing these homes, or either they'll do reverse. They'll overvalue them so that people have to pay these fucking ridiculous ass taxes. You can't afford the homes.
Yeah, all I know is that it's gonna be a lot of people that's renting, that's looking to get some homes or looking to sell a home, and now you can come to the cookout, and you can have a cookout in the backyard of your house.
Hey, y'all speak to my man over there. Y'all know y'all got some VA loans.
Make sure you get that. Loans. Make sure you get the home appraised. You ain't gotta take your black pictures out of your family pictures. You don't gotta go get a white friend to show the house around.
and talk to my man over there. He the one to help you get your credit straight. Y'all know y'all got them 300 credit scores. Talk to him about getting your credit together so you can get one of these homes.
Let's go to the next one. Lil Uzi Vert defends Jack Harlow.
Okay, I've not heard that name before.
Lil Uzi Vert is a rapper who had at one point he had a diamond implanted in his forehead.
That dude,
Yes.
looking like Vision.
Mm-hmm. And Jack Harlow is a white rapper. And Jack Harlow is the guy that didn't know Brandy and Ray J were related.
Siblings, yeah.
So the first class rapper just cannot keep his name out of headlines. In May alone, Jack Harlow dropped his second studio album, which was not received well by critics or music listeners. He did not know Ray J and Brandy were siblings, and he got dissed by Brandy in a freestyle of his own song. Yeah, I heard that freestyle in Chili Grapes. I listened to it. I was like, oh, that's a shame. Now there's belief that Harlow's music success can be attributed to white privilege, but fellow rapper Lil Uzi Vert is here to shoot down all those claims. The Baby Pluto rapper defended Harlow after TMZ ran up on him on Sunday to get his thoughts on whether or not there's any truth to the white privilege claims. Lil Uzi Vert was first asked if Harlow deserves all the criticism for not being a good rapper. He rejected the notion. I mean, Lil Uzi Vert, like, why do you don't have to be good at rap to be a rapper no more? He looked like,
who made them standards?
He was then asked about whether or not Harlow benefited from white privilege. He said, nah, he doesn't have white privilege. He's signed to black people. Harlow is currently signed
to black people.
He's currently signed to Generation Now label, which was founded by DJ Drama and Don Cannon, who are both black. See, the black man owned his masters. He owned the masters, okay? Due to knowledge. But the notion that Harlow does not benefit from white privilege because he signed a black okay, then it's the root.com. So, they had to break down.
Of course.
Take all the fun out.
Okay, yeah, it turns to a think piece.
I think also Jack Harlow is the guy who they want to do a reboot of White Men Can't Jump, and they want him to play the Woody Harrelson part. So, yeah.
Okay.
But look, Lil Uzi Vert vouched for the man. Who am I to say it's not fair? Who am I to say it's wrong?
Mm-mm.
I don't know Jack Harlow better than Lil Uzi Vert knows Jack Harlow.
Mm-mm.
The black man signed to the black man's label.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta say, welcome to the Cookout. We'll see you over by the basketball court.
Welcome to the Cookout.
See if you can give us some of that Billy Hole.
You'll be over there with the other brothers that can't rap.
Bring Rosie Perez with you. Who is the new Rosie Perez? That's gonna be because they talking about the Jack Harlow casting and who's gonna be the black guy. I'm like, who gonna be the Rosie Perez?
Come on.
Because I just remember a young Rod seeing Rosie Perez in that jersey.
It's beautiful.
Them nipples poking out, and I said, I am a straight man.
I is a straight.
I like women. Like, what is this feeling that is happening? So that's the real key. Who gonna? They probably not even gonna have no titties in this one. I think we passed that age.
We passed that. No,
we're past that era.
Them nipples gonna be covered up.
Yeah, like it's not gonna be no weird Woody Harrelson, Rosie Perez sex scenes.
Mm-mm.
This is gonna be terrible. So I'm not even really looking forward to this remake.
Nope.
Last one. Gotta welcome this man to the Cookout.
Okay.
Ewan McGregor, who you may know as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay. Come on, Obi-Wan.
Spoke out in support of his co-star Moses Ingram, who's been the target of hateful comments on social media.
Yes.
Moses Ingram stars as Reva, one of the Inquisitors, Honey McGregor's retired Jedi Master. The 2-episode premiere dropped during the Star Wars celebration, but that didn't stop a segment of Star Wars fandom from bombarding Ingram with hateful comments. She shared that on Instagram. We covered it yesterday. So then my man Ewan McGregor, and shout out to Lucasfilm, they were in formation. We talked about this yesterday. They said this shit ain't happening again on our watch. Ewan McGregor hopped in the car like Derek Jackson and said, I'm making a motherfucking video.
I got the time
in the driver's seat.
Come on.
This weekend, Star Wars fans made Obi-Wan Kenobi the most watched Disney Plus original series premiere of all time.
Yes, it did.
And
They
for that,
did.
I would say a big thank you. And it just goes to show what this family can do when we all pull together. However, it seems that some of the fan base from this influential fan base have decided to attack Moses Ingram online and send her the most horrendous racist DMs. And I heard some of them this morning and it just broke my heart. Moses is a brilliant actor. She's a brilliant woman. And she's absolutely amazing in this series. She brings so much to the series. She brings so much to the franchise. And it just sickened me to my stomach to hear that this has been happening. I just want to say, as the leading actor in the series, as the executive producer in the series, that we stand with Moses. We love Moses. And if you're sending her bullying messages, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind. There's no place for racism in this world. And I totally stand with Moses.
There you go. Well, you know what that means.
And Obi-Wan would stand for her.
He will be a Jedi. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the right song. I meant
Y'all better get here early. Y'all know we got all 7 of the Star Wars. We're gonna be playing them all.
oh man, shout out to Ewan McGregor.
Come on. Oh, and Obi-Wan, we just seen the last episode. Obi-Wan is a very, very good series, and I absolutely love Reva in this series. And because people up out here acting the ass, people are actually finding out more about her, like going like, who the hell are they talking about? This nigga graduated from Yale, like she is like got all these accolades and they act like she's just some random person that picked out of nowhere.
Yeah, she's a badass.
Ain't she though?
It's only halfway over, so we'll see how it ends in the pantheon of things. But as far as just the stakes and the general treachery of this series, I mean, I won't call it too early, but definitely giving me Rogue One vibes of like, damn, and
Yeah,
which is
everybody
crazy
ain't gonna
because
make it.
which is crazy because Rogue One is a prequel. So like we do know what happens to those characters, and so this is almost like some Better Call Saul shit where it's like I do know that Obi-Wan's gonna live, you know, I do know Darth Vader's gonna live, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So them involving all these characters in this story and still making it compelling is just awesome to watch, you know. But man, what a great fucking show. All right, let's move on. That was enough people coming to the cookout. All right, it's getting kind of full,
ain't it though?
And I know the hypothetical blacks out there are being upset by us making jokes. Oh well, calm it down, buddy. Calm it down.
You're gonna have to be mad.
Now I'm not done either.
Oh shit, it's more.
I mean, I'm not done with white people. I think we need to go ahead and talk some more about these white people.
Excited to the barbecue, we might be problematic or a little bit stiff. The sun's really hard on our fragile pink skin. White people do.
I know he sent the lyrics, but there's a part of that song I don't know what the hell they talking about. I just make up the words. I'm like, we might be problematic or Looney Tunes, but that's not what it says. He sent me the lyrics. It's not what it says, but it makes more sense to me. Now that I've said that, can y'all hear it in there? Listen, I'll sing it along.
White people do.
We're bringing egg salad to the barbecue. We might be problematic or Looney Tunes. The sun really harsh on our fragile pink skin is white people news. I like my lyrics better. I think it makes more sense. All right, let's see what these white folk into. You know what? Let's just start with the biggest white people news.
Oh shit, what's the biggest?
Major breaking white people news.
Oh shit! Breaking news.
Jury sides with Johnny Depp in libel case, awards him $10 million.
God damn!
Now I know what y'all saying, Rod, Karen. Y'all haven't even really covered this story, right? It's white people news.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon us. Black people do not care about this shit. The ones that do are probably have been taken in by the Russian trolls, and that's a whole weird side of Twitter I don't never be on.
Johnny Depp's street team did an excellent job, boy.
But in the case, he won, which a lot of people are celebrating this. I'm hesitant to celebrate it only because, as a precedent, someone writing about you abusing them being sued for libel, not because and losing, not because they didn't prove that you abused them, but basically like people are like, this shit was so toxic and fucked up, we can't really say who did, like who was the instigator and all this shit. There's cycles where it kept going, blah blah blah, right? And I get it because I ain't pay that much attention. That's fine. I'm not even trying to deny the verdict, but I don't know that it's a celebratory thing because I don't think it's because like then she won $2 million as a countersuit because the lawyer for Johnny Depp had said that the case was a hoax. Her accusing him of domestic violence was a hoax, and they said no, that's not true. So $2 million to her, and then she got to pay him 10 or whatever. So yeah, it was a split decision. And yeah, I don't know. I we'll see if this does set precedent. I mean, I think we're dealing with rich, powerful dudes anyway, charismatic, famous dudes. It's almost impossible for them to truly like be on the outs. Like even, I think he's like, I'm ready to get my career started. Thanks to everybody stuck. So I think he'll be fine with his career now.
Of course. This is the most we've heard about this nigga in years. So of course he's like, my name is out there. So let's get to working.
Even a symbolic victory is enough for us to move on, right? It's like, just ignore what the stuff that was confirmed that I did, or the video recordings and the audio recordings. Ignore all that shit.
Right.
She was also a piece of shit, right? So kind of, can we just all move on? I feel like that's gonna be his argument, and they'll probably both be fine. I assume that she'll be working again too.
Yes, sir.
But we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's resolved. Let's see.
Good, so I can quit that shit going up and down the timeline.
Yeah, it was, man.
That shit was annoying.
I have I have the iPhone news app, and it alerts me to stuff happening. And every motion with this case, basically, I would get an alert.
Yes,
because I would be like, and I try not to be like, who cares about this? I did follow these news sources, but like all of them cared about this as if it was. Honestly, they cared about it more than the school shooting, which I guess kind of makes sense. But they cared about it more than any other story in the last few months. Like maybe the Will Smith slap is up there with this story, where every twist and turn was like, it wasn't just an alert from like one source. It was an alert from like 5 different sources. I'm like, you don't even cover this kind of news.
You're right. This is, how did you even get in this lane?
Yeah, IGN breaking news. I'm like, what? IGN?
What does video games? Is Johnny Depp got a video game coming out?
Guinness World Record was set. Carolina Reaper chilies was eaten, 3 of them in 8.72 seconds. That is the world record, Karen.
Ain't you them hot chilies?
From Inferno Farms.
Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
8.72.
How is that the record?
Because them bitches hot. That's why.
I know, but I guess isn't eating them fast, wouldn't that be the easiest part? Or
they probably burn just being in that close to your mouth.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Okay. They must be so hot. Like your gag reflex starts
puffing up.
Like, do you train for this, or do you just?
To. Yeah, you got to.
I feel like I would just chug some milk and then just like wash them down before I could even taste them. Yeah. I wouldn't even chew them. I swallow them whole.
That's probably what they're doing.
But the previous record was from Mike Jack, a Canadian, who had a 9.72 record. But Gregory Foster beat that by 1 second, 8.72. And practicing for an attempt like this is about the mechanics and muscle memory. So I time myself eating small sweet peppers to get the chewing and swallowing down the automatic responses. So he didn't practice with the Carolina Reapers because he knew not to do that. Let's see what else is going on with the whites.
I'm good on that, dog.
Okay. I wasn't asking you to do it, but thanks for
I'm just letting everybody know.
in case one of y'all want to bring some Carolina Reaper chilies to the next live show. Karen's not okay with it.
That's a negative.
Eminem was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Good for him.
Makes sense. Yeah, Eminem's one of those weird people where artists where a lot of people want to act like he never happened and he was no big deal. It's
right.
Like it's always this weird revisionism.
Erase him.
And it's definitely because part of it is his music is so like cancelable, quote unquote. You know, it's so like over the top, homophobic, misogynistic, blah, blah.
A lot of music didn't
but,
age well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But to me, that's not a good excuse because all the black people making that music that we don't pretend not to acknowledge, all that motherfucking music was homophobic, misogynistic, and problematic too. So I don't, when motherfucker Ain't No Fun come on at a party, we sing every word. So I ain't really trying to believe that it was, it's just the misogyny. I'm like, he was killing Kim. There's a lot of us out here bobbing like that nigga killed the hell out that girl. What a great song.
Right.
So I don't think that's it. I think he did have a lot of white fans, but it wasn't solely the province of white people because he was on Death Row or Aftermath or one of those two. And yeah, it was on Aftermath. And I mean, Aftermath was a label. Like people fuck with Aftermath. 50 Cent, fucking Dr. Dre, like Eminem, like that was a big ass deal for that time. The music was everywhere. I can get being like, I don't think he's the best or whatever, but
yeah, but them shit sold.
Yeah, people try to act like he ain't shit. And I don't know. Makes sense he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, it does.
Prince Albert of Monaco is paying Princess Charlene $12 million to stay by his side, claims a report.
Oh shit.
I'm talking about some mess. Okay.
Stand by your side.
The trouble relationship with Prince Albert of Monaco and his wife, the former Olympic swimmer Charlene Whitstock, took another bizarre turn after it was claimed in a French gossip magazine that he is paying her an annual stipend of $12.5 million US to continue to be his wife. The happiness of the marriage has long been the subject of speculation after Charlene allegedly tried to flee Monaco 3 times before the marriage 10 years ago.
She was trying to get out of there.
Sought sanctuary in her native South Africa embassy in Paris and wept openly on her wedding day. Damn, how bad it's gotta be for you to be crying on your wedding day, sad tears, but still do it. Like he just got money, okay? Like you crying on your wedding day and everybody know why. Now look, she is finer than him, but that's not that.
Is there age difference there?
You tell me, Karen.
I think it is.
Yeah, it looks.
Like
I'm thinking it is.
He's about 20 years older than her, possibly.
Over the past year, the couple spent over 7 months apart after Charlene returned to South Africa for charitable work and was then hospitalized. She doing everything to stay out of this marriage. She returned to Monaco in November, but was then swiftly hospitalized again with exhaustion. Only returned to public view last month. I wonder if that's some drug shit, because exhaustion normally code for drugs.
Exhausted from something.
The princess did not return at any price and said that she and her husband had signed an ultra confidential contract that included paying her $12.5 million a year. Albert has 2 children with Charlene and has also admitted fathering 2 other children out of wedlock. So he got the nerve to be cheating. He's also facing another paternity suit, which he has denounced as blackmail. Is blackmail?
That's why
is that what it is?
That's why he paid her $12 million.
Right.
You pay me $12 million too, then.
He embarrassing this woman. Now you got to pay $12 million for her to stay. My God. Jamie Foxx got him a white woman. Okay, and it is all in the news. Okay, because they was in the public necking.
Oh, that's adorable.
Now they call her a mystery woman, which means she's not famous.
Right, they don't know her name yet.
Which is like the most disrespectful thing.
They do whenever somebody they don't know, they be like, somebody, I guess.
A mystery woman.
They be like, okay, girl, until we find out who you are.
He was spotted packing on a PDA with a mystery blonde aboard a luxury yacht in the French Riviera over the weekend. He was sported a blue tee and shorts for the outing and was seen laying on top of the bikini-clad woman while planting a kiss on her lips. After sharing a laugh on the daybed, the woman, chic in a red two-piece swimsuit with gray shorts, jumped on the back of the jet ski, and she held tightly as Fox drove them around on the Sea-Doo. Their loved-up outing comes just weeks after Page Six spotted the actor in Miami for the Grand Prix. He was seen party hopping with LeBron James and Meek Mill and dining at celeb hotspot Carbone Beach. The trio later showed up at a gala Miami, where Fox jumped on the mic to perform a cappella rendition of Kanye West's hit Gold Digger, which he was featured on, and as he and several of his entourage took up several booths. I'm Jamie motherfucking Fox, he declared, before asking the DJ to cut the music as Going Bad by Meek Mill and Drake began to play. I wonder if Meek took offense. Mm-hmm. He was with them. Turn that bullshit off. I'm Jamie motherfucking Fox, goddammit. I got something to say. We have to start that song from the beginning. Everybody get a drink in their hand right now. Oh, so it's no offense. He was saying play the Meek Mill.
Mm-hmm. He's like, start it over again.
Yeah. Spider-Man No Way Home star was previously linked to Katie Holmes in 2013.
I remember that.
They split in 2019. The couple didn't appear in public together until Clive Davis's pre-Grammy Gala in New York in 2018, just a year before they called it quits. So yeah, I guess Jamie got a type.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't be mad at him. You know, you do whatever you want to do.
Yes, he can.
For me, because there's some hot white out here tonight. Hey, Alfonso. Now I gotta say, listen, I have been known to fuck some white girls in my lifetime. Yeah, come on, okay. Now I have spent my life on some TMZ, and every time you see me in a club, guess who I walk out with? Who? A lovely blonde white chick.
Good for him. Good for him. All right, let's move into some other stuff. Let's start wrapping it up. Let's do some guess the race. Here we go.
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
That's right. Guess the race time. We go all around the globe, find different articles, and guess the race of the people involved. Today, the contestants are Karen and the chat room. They'll play along. Everyone playing the game is racist. So expect racism. There's a trigger warning for those of y'all that are sensitive to natures of things that got stuff to do with racial humor. Okay. We don't want nobody running on stage stabbing us with a gun knife. Okay. These are just jokes. We love people of all races. A man killed in suspected gator attack at John S. Taylor Park in Largo has been identified.
Right now, FWC and officers with Largo Police are working to track down an alligator they think killed a man in Pasco County.
Yeah, that's right. Police are telling us a 47-year-old man is dead and an alligator was involved. This all happened at Taylor
Alligator
Lake.
man.
ABC Action News reporter Sarah Hollenbeck is there right now. Sarah, what are we finding out about this so far?
Well, here in Pinellas County, we've been watching as a lot of these FWC and also the trappers have been out. They've been hauling out nets, bringing out boats. We've seen them move from one side of the lake to the other. Here's what we know. Earlier this morning, a 47-year-old man's body was discovered right here at the lake. Police believe that he was wading in the lake trying to find frisbee discs at the time that he was attacked. FWC says deadly alligator attacks are very rare, though. There's only been 26 since FWC started keeping track in 1948. Taylor Lake has several signs warning people about gators and that swimming is strictly prohibited. Neighbors tell us even so, they see people swimming and in inflatable kayaks in the lake often.
I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. It's sad to say that. But, you know, Floridians believe that, you know, they're invincible. They go in the waters, they swim, and a gator's a gator. It's not your friend.
Now, John S. Taylor Park is a popular spot for disc golf in Pinellas County. Just 2 years ago, Largo police say an alligator bit a man in the face and hand while he was collecting discs in this exact same lake. Now, we've asked law enforcement if they plan to step up enforcement of those signs that say no swimming in the area, but we're still waiting to hear back. We're also waiting to find out more about the man's identity that was killed this morning.
All right, Karen, guess the race. Sean Thomas McGinnis.
White. Karen's
going white. Let's check the chat room. Disc golf, her white. Only a white would risk their life for a damn frisbee. White. Crikey. White. Oh, he's white. White like the Coke dude. Obviously, saw sniffing. Tasted McWhite meat. White as fuck as a black who plays disc golf. Taylor Mountain, no less. I'm going to say white. I've seen 4 others. No swimming white. Bitten to the white bone white. All ate him white. The correct alabaster bastard. Lake Caucus white. Lake Caucus, that's good. The correct answer is white. I don't have a picture of him, but come on. Come on, buddy. We all knew that was white.
For a disc? What was that?
Disc
frisbee?
Golf. Frisbee, yeah. Frisbee golf. A man points a gun at a TV reporter during a live segment on gun violence.
Oh, ain't that oxymoron?
Fox 32 reporter and her crew on May 25th were filming a segment in Chicago on gun violence.
Oh, no!
While the reporter was
What about the kids in Chicago, apparently?
While the reporter was speaking on camera, a man walked by and quickly pointed a gun at her direction. Said, hey, I fit that description. Police issued a community alert looking to identify the man in the video in relation to aggravated assault with a firearm. According to police, the man pointed his gun in the direction of the reporter and crew and ran away on foot. The reporter tweeted regarding her co-worker that said the gun was 1 foot away from her head. She is understandably shaken. Thank God she is okay. Guess the race of the unidentified man.
Black.
Karen's going black. Let's check the chat room, see what they believe. Name, no name, Wanganji, just a picture. And I can't show y'all the picture because obviously we'll give away the race. If this doesn't sound like some nigga shit, black. Oh, he's black.
I had to think about it for a second there.
Spider-Man pointing the gun sideways at Spider-Man.
Not sideways.
Pointed the gun, then ran black. Gun turned to the side of the live shot. Black. Got to show out for Mama Black. White says KC.
Oh shit!
The correct answer is black. And of course, KC missed it terribly. And that's the picture there. And that's clearly a black gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what made him point. Was he gonna rob him and then he saw the camera and changed his mind?
He's like, "Oh, y'all live? My bad."
Yeah. Hey, look, I don't fuck with Channel 5. Oh, y'all Channel 6. Never mind. Thought y'all was Channel 5 news.
All right.
All right, Karen. It's so far 2 for 2.
Woohoo!
Why? I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to get
gold chain wearing, fried chicken and
biscuit eating monkey, big baboon, big dive, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
All right, let's go to the last one. How about this one? Feds say Maryland man used a badge, Glock, and a bite dog to pose as a cop for 15 years. What? A Maryland man's been charged for impersonating an officer of the law, a ruse he allegedly maintained for nearly 15 years. Antoine Tuckson was arrested near a restaurant in Prince George's County where he was working as a security guard. Court documents state. To complete his disguise as a U.S. Marshal, he allegedly toted handcuffs, a Glock, a taser, police gear, and a bite dog that was wearing a matching police vest. The scheme fell apart when the actual police arrived as Tuckson tried to apprehend two restaurant goers over a bill dispute. He reportedly flashed a badge, but the local cops noticed he left his K9 companion unattended, something a bona fide handler would not do. Though Tuckson got a fake supervisor on the phone to vouch for him. Now, who's that person?
Ooh, they're going to jail too.
That's a homeboy Hall of Fame right there.
For real though.
He was arrested when his name didn't appear in the marshal's database. Documents claim records show he was charged with similar offenses in 2006, 2009, 2018. Guess the race, Karen.
I hate to be like this, but it's a black.
All right.
I'm sorry. I 15 years. I mean, but nigga.
Do white Antoines exist? PJE County Antoine, but undefeated for 15 years. White. Did that for that long, white. Oh, he a black, like, come on. PG, that's a nigga. Black. Negroids. Kind of divisive on this one. A couple whites. His K9 was a pit. King Hill. 15 years, white. The audacity is white, but the name is black. Well, pick one, Lordy. I mean, you can't have both ways. Trying to hedge your bets. Should have minded his business. Black. PG County Security, that's a white. Blackety black. Negro. And guys, we gotta wait on Lordy Amina to weigh in because Lordy Amina is trying to have it both ways. And
you gotta pick a side.
I'll hold this whole damn show up. Black says K-Can. And we'll be done whenever Lordy is ready to be done. We'll be done. Okay. If you got any questions, you need any more answers, Lordy, just let me know. I can't pick. Oh, okay. All right.
Zebra-esque. Just pick one. Just throw your hat out there.
Black Jesus is what she said. All right. The correct answer is black. So a couple people did miss it somehow. I don't know how. Well, I do know how. 15 years is a long time.
Yes, but
my guess what happened to Antoine Tuckson is he got this job as security guard, protecting this restaurant. There's probably a lot of disrespect that he gets as a security guard. And motherfuckers like, what you gonna do, bitch? Hit me with a flashlight? You gonna shine the light of justice on me? I'm downing and I'm ditching. Fuck you. And so he got tired of that shit.
Yeah, he did. You ain't no real officer.
He bought him a white dog, which does not look like any police dog I've ever seen. It's just definitely just a regular white dog. Got him a Ford.
Don't they do them Doberman pinches?
Got him a Ford, kitted it out with police lights, the undercover looking kind.
Yes, he did.
Got a fake deputy marshal badge. And he probably been like, you will respect my authority.
Respect my authority.
And not guarantee it just got out of control over the 15 years. He can never go back to just a regular security guard where people like, suck my dick, officer. Ha ha ha. So he had to do this shit, King Sikkim and shit, and now he's too deep in the game. He's too deep in the game. That's gotta be what happened. Nothing else makes sense. So that I think Antoine Tuckson just was trying to impress some people and it got out of control. Anyway, he was black. sword ratchet this time. Moore man is accused of threatening wife with a sword. Moore, Oklahoma. A Moore man is facing felony charges.
Felony.
I mean, that should be a felony, Karen. You threaten your wife with a sword. I mean, come on. That's the whole point of this segment.
Come on, buddy.
He looks scary too. He's facing felony charge for attacking his wife and then threatening her with a sword. Throughout my career, I've seen multiple events where these swords have been utilized as weapons and they're dangerous, says my hero, Lieutenant Kyle Johnson with the Moore Police Department. Come through, Lieutenant Kyle. We need more like you. Okay.
Behind bars. He allegedly threatened his own wife with perhaps an unusual weapon. News 4's Natalie Clydesdale is on Prime Watch with details. Natalie, get us up to speed.
Wife then pointed a sword at her and threatened to hurt her with it. He's now facing felony charges.
Throughout my career, I've seen multiple events where these swords have been utilized as weapons, and they're dangerous.
Moore Police Lieutenant Kyle Johnson talking about novelty swords.
They're considered a dangerous, deadly weapon.
It's what Brian Carlisle of Moore allegedly picked up after attacking his wife.
Oh my God, you have to come up here now. All he has is a big, 4-foot-long sword with him.
Court documents say Carlisle was, quote, pointing the sword at her as if he was going to hurt her with it.
And we have seen people that have been injured from novelty swords. They can still be deadly.
The woman escaped the home, running to her neighbor's driveway while Carlisle got in the car to drive away. As Carlisle was backing out, he allegedly got very close to hitting his wife. But Carlisle's attempted escape didn't get very far.
He was located in a vehicle just a couple miles from the scene by other on-duty officers. And ultimately, he was arrested.
He's now facing a felony charge for domestic assault with a dangerous weapon. And thankfully, his wife wasn't seriously hurt.
She was able just to deflect that sword away and then was able to essentially take it away from him. So no injuries directly related to the sword.
The Oklahoma State Courts Network website says Carlisle's court hearing is set for mid-April.
He looks scary.
A hero general contract.
Like, look, he look like Paul Giamatti with just like a chromosome off or something. Anyway, all right, y'all, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening. Get your feedback in. Leave us 5-star reviews. Check us out on YouTube. Leave us comments, thumbs ups, likes.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe on us on our YouTube. We out there now. You know, I'm putting up classic episodes right now and just like the ones I can go find because it only goes back a few years. But yeah, we got some pretty good stuff. Oh, and I guess there's an update. I meant to say this at some point, but DL Hughley did say more of what happened with him and Monique. Now, I know Monique just responded by going on IG Live for 66 minutes. I have not watched it. She did it during our show. Woo. But the way DL Hughley explained that shit, I mean, that's basically what I thought it was. And in some ways, kind of worse because when he basically said she never even came back there and talked to him before going out there and doing all that shit, to me, that's a red flag. It's why you shouldn't do business with people you don't trust, because you're gonna always find a way for it to be their fault. It don't matter. You know, low key, like, I don't know. I think that kind of vindicates him. I still feel like the promoters got let off the hook because, you know, she didn't seem to want to like point the finger at them too hard, but clearly the motherfuckers, that something shady happened. So like either her people were shady and forged a contract, or they people were shady and promised to fulfill a contract they didn't fulfill. But yeah, that man, he had some bars in that shit. Like he said, how you got a man you pay for and call him daddy? That's a son. She had talked about his emotional support dog and picked on him and shit, and he was like, that's a dog my kids got me when my dad died. They got it from the area where my dad lived and I named him after my dad, and that way it's not about keeping people away from me, it's about keeping part of my dad with me at all times. I was like, fuck, man. He just kind of eviscerated her without even it having to be just about like insulting her. Like it was just like I'm like, even the stuff that people try to, like I said, someone on Twitter told me like well, he says you can say anything on stage, so I'll fuck him, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, he was like, I'm not offended. He's just saying, like, to me, you picking on my sexuality or something. He was like, that don't mean nothing to me. I know who I am. Like, I'm secure with that. Like, so fine. Okay. You got jokes about my sexuality, knowing you and your open marriage and the man you sleeping with every night. But okay, cool. I'm the one that's tripping. So I just thought it's on there on his YouTube, and I thought it was a great breakdown. So he I don't know. There's just gonna be people that have decided they're in her camp, and they can't admit, because I get it, because you fought so hard with so many people, and people have been disrespectful towards her. She don't got no audience. She's not funny. And once you get into those camps where you've been fighting people all the time,
men and women,
you now feel like you have to like fight on that lie. You have to fight for this person all the time, and I've been let that kind of shit go.
They can fight for themselves.
Yeah, like sometimes people be wrong, and I think she was wrong this time. But don't make her not funny. Don't make her not have an audience. Don't mean that.
Correct. You can't. All the other stuff is irrelevant. But we talk about like each individual incident.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all. That's it. We'll be back. Until then, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.